Hello and Assalamu alaikum students. I'm your social studies teacher, Ms. Sayyida Rakshanda Dhera. Students, as you know that we have started our chapter agriculture and livestock, and in the previous session we learned about what is agriculture and what is livestock. Then we also learned about the importance of agriculture. And in today's session we are going to learn about factors affecting agriculture. So let's have a look at the previous session. Yeah, what did we learn? We learn about agriculture, that means to cultivate the crops, and livestock means animals reared on farms for meat, dairy products, transport, labor, and for other purposes. Okay, here is a video link has given for you. You can watch the video for your better understanding. Okay, students, there are many factors that affect agriculture. As you can see in this chart, that we will start from the flat land and fertile soil, adequate water supply, pest and pesticides, salinity, waterlogging, soil management. So all these are different factors, and we will be learning about each and every factor one by one. So let's start. Number one is suitable climate. Students, climate is very important for growing crops, as climate determines the region, type of crop, time and type of crops that can be grown in a place. For example, students, I'll give you an example of wheat. Wheat is a crop that requires a warm and dry climate. So if you try to grow wheat at the North Pole area where there is snow throughout the year and hardly any sunlight, so wheat will not grow in the North Pole because it requires a warm and dry climate. So suitable climate is very necessary for growing crops. Then another factor is flat land and fertile soil. Flat land is very important for growing crops, students, and fertile soil also, because growing crops on flat land is easier than on a slope or rocky land. This is because why flat land is important for growing crops, because on a flat land the water given to the crops can stand and be absorbed into the soil instead of running down the slope. As you can see here, if we'll try to grow crops on steep land, okay, so it would be very harder for us to grow crops here, because it is difficult to use machinery there also, and water will not stop at these steep slopes. Water will not stand there, it will not absorb into the soil. So that's why we need flat land to grow crop. And then river banks and flat plains are the most suitable areas for agriculture, because they have fertile soil. They have the most fertile soil in flat land. In Pakistan, if we talk about, so the plains of Sindh and the Punjabs are the most suitable areas for agriculture. Okay, next is adequate water supply. That means balanced amount of water, because some crops need more water to grow and some crops need less water to grow. Okay, so water supply to the fields must be adequate. Too much or too little water are both dangerous for crops. Okay, some crops such as rice require 3 inches of standing water, whereas if we talk about beans, so and other many similar crops, so they do not require much water, and farmers have to be very careful with the amount of water which they let into their fields. Too much or too little water can destroy an entire harvest. Okay, there are many ways to manage water supply. Okay, now here in this slide you can see the natural ways. What are the natural ways? Rainwater, river water, and wells. These are the natural ways of managing water supply. Okay, then second is supply of water to the field from reservoirs. ओके, reservoirs में से जो पानी हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं fields को, वो किस तरह से हो सकता है? There are different ways, like sprinklers. You can see here, sprinklers are providing water to the field. Then tube well, through tube wells also we provide water to the fields, and canals. Yes, in Pakistan there is a huge network of canals through which farmers provide water or supply water to their fields. Okay, students, another important factor that affect agriculture is pest and pesticides. What are pests, students? Pests are living organisms that cause damage to crops. Yes, they can damage they can damage agricultural produce, and they include weeds and parasitic organisms. Some examples are weevils, moths, and some species of worms, fungus, etc. As you can see here on these crops, they are eating the crops and destroying the crops. Okay, what are pesticides, students? Pesticides are substances or sprays that are meant to control pests, including weeds. Yes, they are sprayed to fight or control pests, but we have to keep this in our mind that their overuse can cause other damage to crops, humans, and animals. So pesticides should be used in a controlled manner. Okay, students, this is your task that you are going to do it in your copy. Number one, steep lands are not suitable for farming. Yes, that's what we learned in the factor flat land and fertile soil. So, do you agree with it? If yes, take it or no, then give reasons. Question number two is, what are pests and how can a farmer save his crops from them? Question number three, what are some of the sources of water? Okay, these are some of the questions, students, that you are going to solve.